Namaste. Before we begin hearing about the renowned Vaishnava, Srila Baladeva Vidyabhusana, I would like to give just a brief background about the deity Govindaji, who will be mentioned in the story. Though he is now worshipped with great devotion in Jaipur, Govindaji was originally installed in a temple in Vrindavan by Srila Rupa Goswami. From old scriptures, Rupa Goswami and his brother Sanatan Goswami had learnt that a beautiful deity of Krishna named Govindaji had formerly been installed at a place known as Yoga Pirtha in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago by Vrajanabha, the great-grandson of Lord Krishna. But with the passing of time, Govindaji vanished. Eager to find the lost deity, Rupa and Sanatan searched Vrindavan, constantly crying out, "O Govinda, O Govinda." One day a boy told Rupa that the deity he was looking for was hidden nearby on a hill, and that every day a cow poured milk into a hole on top of the hill. Rupa asked the residents of Vrindavan to dig up that ground. When they found a gorgeous deity of Krishna, everyone spontaneously chanted, "Govinda Dev ki jai! Govinda Dev ki jai!" All glories to Lord Govinda. A deity of Radharani was installed, and later a beautiful temple was built in Vrindavan by the king Man Singh. The red sandstone used in the construction, although at the time was reserved for government buildings only, was donated by the Emperor Akbar to his friend Man Singh. Emperor Akbar also gave 70 acres of land for Govindaji's upkeep. But 80 years later, Akbar's evil grandson destroyed many Vrindavan temples, including much of the Govindaji temple. The devotees secretly took Radha and Govindaji, first of all to Radhakund, and then finally to a place near Jaipur. Later, the king of Jaipur brought Radha Govindaji and installed them in a temple in the garden behind the city palace, where they were safely worshipped by many people. In fact, today and every day, thousands of devotees from Jaipur and other places come to see Radha Govinda, and they are loved by the citizens of Jaipur. So now, let us begin this presentation on this remarkable Vaishnava, Srila Baladeva Vidyabhusana. In the opening pages of the Krishna book, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada dedicates the book to his father, Gaur Mahan. In the opening pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam, he dedicates these books to his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Goswami Maharaj. And in the opening pages of the Bhagavad Gita, he dedicates the book to Srila Baladeva Vidyabhusana, who presented so nicely the Govinda Bhashya commentary on Vedanta philosophy. So who was this exceptional Vaishnava who composed a commentary on Vedanta Sutra, and to whom Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami dedicated his translation of the Bhagavad Gita? The word Vedanta means the last word in a matter of pursuing knowledge. The word sutra is explained as when a thesis is presented in few words but with great volumes of meaning, and when understood is very beautiful. In India, the system was that anyone who was considered an acharya of a spiritual lineage or sampradaya, they were expected to write comments on the Vedanta Sutra. Now there are 4 Vaishnava sampradayas: the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, the Ramanuja Sampradaya, the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya, and the Nimbaka Sampradaya. We are in the Gaudiya Sampradaya in disciplic succession of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This Sampradaya belongs to the Madhva Sampradaya, which belongs to the Brahma Sampradaya. Hence, it is called the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. However, in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, there was no commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. According to the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that the real commentary on Vedanta Sutra is the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. As such, the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya did not take much care to present their commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Lord Chaitanya himself explained Vedanta Sutra by touching upon the main subject matter, and you can read this in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 7, 138 to 146. But there was no commentary written. But this changed around 200 years ago in Jaipur, when the acharyas and followers of the other sampradayas challenged the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya that it had no commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Some members of the Ramanuja Sampradaya, which are called Ramanandis, began to raise this argument in the court of the king at Jaipur. They complained that as the Gaudiya Vaishnavas had no commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, they were not qualified to worship the deity of Govindaji, and therefore all of the worship should be turned over to the Ramanandis. They also objected to the worship of Srimati Radharani with Sri Govindaji as not being authorized anywhere in Shastras. The king was obliged to remove Radharani temporarily from the deity room, as well as to suspend the Bengali Gaudiya Vaishnava pujaris from partaking in the deity worship. The king, Sadachari Raj, was initiated within the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Thus, he secretly sent word to Vrindavan, informing the devotees there of what had happened. At that time, the spiritual master of the Gaudiya Sampradaya was Srila Visvanath Chakravarti Thakur, who was living in Vrindavan. Srila Visvanath Chakravarti said he was too old to travel such a distance to Jaipur, and he requested his student Baladeva to go there and prove the authenticity of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. Baladeva was fully conversant with Shastra and thus able to competently face the challenge. In Jaipur, at a great assembly, he posed such forceful arguments to the Ramanandis that they could not reply at all. He further explained to them, the originator of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has accepted Srimad Bhagavatam as the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, as composed by Vyasadeva himself. The scholars in the assembly, however, refused to accept anything other than a direct commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Having no other recourse, Baladeva promised to present them with one. They gave him 18 days to have his commentary ready for discussion. The mood of the Ramanandis was quite aggressive, which made Baladeva transcendentally anxious. Feeling very aggrieved in this manner, Baladeva came to Govindaji's temple after offering his prostrated obeisances. He informed Sri Govindaji of everything that had transpired. That night, a wonderful thing happened. The Lord appeared to Baladeva in a dream and instructed him to write a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. The Lord said, "I will dictate to you what to write. You just write, and therefore no one will be able to refuse to accept it." Having such a wonderful dream, Baladeva was totally enlivened, and thus he began to write. Within a few days he completed the commentary, which was called Sri Govinda Bhashya. Bringing the commentary with him, Baladeva again came to the assembly of scholars. After hearing the commentary, they were simply speechless. Thus the victory of the Gaudiya Sampradaya was announced far and wide, and the king, as well as the other devotees, were very happy. From that day on, Radharani was installed, and the Maharaj of Jaipur announced, "Sri Govindaji's artik will be performed first, and then the other temples of the city may perform their artiks." Baladeva Vidyabhusana wrote, "May he who so mercifully and munificently was kind towards me and bestowed his favour by ordering me in a dream to write down his own commentary which he composed, and which attained such renown amongst the learned circles that they bestowed upon me the title Vidyabhusana. May that dear friend of Srimati Radharani, who holds him dearer than her own life, be glorified. May Sri Govinda be glorified." After accepting defeat, the Ramanandi scholars expressed their desire to accept initiation from Baladeva Vidyabhusana. However, he declined their request by stating that amongst the 4 authorized sampradayas, the Ramanuja Sampradaya was highly respectable and the foremost adherent of Dasya Bhakti, devotional service in the mood of servitorship. He didn't want to cause any loss of respect to the Ramanuja Sampradaya, as this would be considered an offence. Returning from Jaipur to Vrindavan, Baladeva Vidyabhusana presented the certificate of victory to Srila Viswanath Chakravarti Thakur and narrated all the events that had transpired. All the devotees there were in great ecstasy to receive this news. Namaste.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.